Hello, everybody, and welcome back for rounds 11 to 15 of the UK Blitz Finals 2023. Hello, Grandmaster Peter Wells. How are you?
Hi, Natasha. I'm okay. I'm enjoying the tournament. It's been really exciting. It's great that so many people are still in contention. It feels very open.
Yes, indeed. And we've got a big round coming up here, haven't we? We've got...
That music is you, right?
Oh, what music?
I'm hearing music. I don't know why.
No, it should not be me.
Okay, I'll get rid of that.
What are you hearing? I'm going to try.
I was hearing some just random pop music, but I don't know.
Okay.
I thought maybe you were doing sound effects.
Tell me. Are you still hearing it?
No, it's gone. It's gone.
Okay, fine.
I think it might have been. I don't know. Okay, so there's Amit Ghazi against.
Here we go.
Gasanov this round, yeah, which is
a
very big. It's a very big slash by any standards.
Righty, here we go. So Gasanov is white, and we've got Amit has often does. Can you see that on the screen? Yes.
Yeah, it looks like a kind of slightly delayed Benko Gambit out of the King's Indian, which I don't know. Is the Benko Gambit a good thing to play in Blitz? It may well be.
Maybe. You get the play on the Queen side, don't you?
Did I lose you, or did you lose me there? I'm not sure.
No, I'm still here, I believe. Okay.
That's good. No, I'm just thinking. I mean, in principle, I think gambits are good things to play in Blitz because the initiative tends to be worth more than a pawn. But if in something like the Benko, you kind of feel like how white should play it is reasonably well known, and therefore, there might be an argument that it allows white to play with a bit of flow as well.
Yeah.
But it's certainly an interesting position.
And it looks like white's a little bit up on the clock, if we can believe the clock times. I know we can't necessarily.
That's an unusual deficit for Amit, as I've seen him in these things. I mean, one of the reasons I have such confidence with him in Blitz and Rapid is he just plays at such a speed without making any serious mistakes most of the time. And just sort of consistency and sensible, sometimes safe, not safe in a kind of boring sense, but very few blunders and playing the percentages a lot of the time. And it seems to take him a very long way. But here, I don't know. Yeah, if he's really down to 28 seconds, mind you, it looks like Eldar's using his time as well. So, as you say, if that can be believed, we may find a rush of moves in a moment.
We probably will.
I mean, I think Black wants to play Knight C7, and they need to weigh up whether Bishop A5 is then a very good response. I was thinking about things like whether Black can then take on B5 and maybe try and sack the exchange on A5 and uncover. If you put that if you put it on the board, we'll probably get a rush of moves elsewhere. Yeah. The sort of Bishop B5, Rook takes A5, and Knight takes D5 crossed my mind, but it may not be 100% sound. But it's sort of Black has to make some waves. I think this looks like quite a good Benko for white, as I understand it.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure. When you're pawn down, you want to know where your next phase of counterplay is coming from, and I'm not sure I know here. I think when white gets to challenge the bishop on that long diagonal, that's usually a good sign. But I'm guessing that something's got. Well, it says he's got 0 time, so something's.
Yeah. No, I think things must have happened. So I'm going to switch.
Maybe go elsewhere for a moment.
So let's see. Should we see Tom O'Gorman, because he's
right up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said at the start he was dangerous at Blitz, and he's proven you absolutely right, hasn't he?
Yes. And here, okay. So here. Black's looking to exchange those bishops. Oh, and has managed.
I was just going to say, I'm a bit surprised Black didn't. I didn't have time to look at it thoroughly, but you'd think Black would have wanted to keep rooks on the board if White's king was a little bit exposed on the H file. Now it feels like I mean, having g3 there is nice to keep black's knight out of the play.
Yeah.
And white has some kind of, it's not a minority attack, but it's a kind of same idea as trying to create some pawn weaknesses on the queen side. And, you know, there doesn't look like, at first glance, like there's a huge amount of counterplay for black.
Yeah. Now, white would need to, I suppose white would bring the queen in. You could do it like h5, couldn't you? Or else.
I thought h5 at first, and then I wondered if black's queen coming to f5 was then quite active. So I'm then looking at ways which, you know, maybe something like queen d3 or queen f3, something which sort of queen d3 would actually maybe be a mistake, because there could be queen h3 check, and then you can use the pin on the g pawn, some knight f4 or knight h3.
Oh, right.
Maybe white has to be a little bit careful where they put the queen, but
yeah.
Hello, everything's changed as it does.
That's right. Oh, Amit swindled Gusanoff since it froze. Yeah. You get a few moves at once, so you kind of.
Yeah, you certainly. Oh, really? Okay.
Okay. So this one
no longer looks like. I'd rather be. In fact, my first question is, why can't black grab a pawn with queen e4 check and taking on d4?
Oh yeah.
I mean, maybe he can't, but you'd want to ask the question, wouldn't you?
If you can.
And if you were playing the game, you'd really want to know the answer.
Oh, they've drawn.
They've drawn.
It says how far.
Oh, maybe, okay. So maybe he decided that was too dangerous. Although I should have noticed it was the result of a whole series of checks. Okay, I need a moment longer to figure out why he can't take on d4. But okay, we can move on if they've drawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so should we go back to Amit perhaps and
let's
see what
Amit. So where is Amit?
just below.
There we go.
Yes.
So here we go. This is what it's like now. Oh
wow, okay.
There's a queen against a rook and a bishop.
Yeah, everything I said about black's counterplay being a little bit slow kind of gets cancelled out by having an extra queen. How do you go about winning this? You play f5, I guess, taking advantage of the pin of the e pawn.
Oh yeah. So king g1 f5. Okay.
Yeah, but then I guess if white goes solid with f3, you then need to. I mean, one way to try and do it then is to show that f3 gives the king a route in, and you can actually try to play for mate with the king and the queen.
Oh
almost
wow!
As if
here and here.
Well, I mean, if king g1 f5 f3, I would.
I've lost your sound, Peter. I've lost you entirely now. Okay, so say right, he's back. All right, let me let you in. I'm
not sure what happened there.
I lost you for a moment.
Yeah, if you lose me again, I might move rooms and make sure I'm, because my hotspot normally works quite well, but occasionally. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, you know, if the pawn's still on g2, then king f4, you always have to reckon with the possibility of g3 check. But if you can force f3 and then play king f4, it looks to me like you might have a route in.
Oh, now what?
Wow. Okay. I don't know if that's what happened or not. We're about 20 moves on.
Yeah.
Looks to me like white's done a reasonable job, because they managed to hold that pawn on g3, which means the king doesn't have this immediate route in. So king e3, you can go rook e1 check, as has happened already.
Yeah.
So where's the king?
The king wants to go back in the end to avoid these checks, presumably.
Yeah, it either goes back or else it can try to come in. So it might go. But you've got to be careful how you come in. You don't want to lose your queen.
No, that would be bad.
I mean, you could, you know, if your king's on d3, you could answer a rook d1 check with king c2 without losing your queen. But it's not clear to me whether that's the right direction. I wonder. Yeah, I wonder whether Amit could have got more earlier out of this. But okay, I mean, he still has winning chances. But so one way would be. Trouble is, if he targets the g3 pawn, white replies with king f2. Okay, so maybe he just, if he tucks his king back, then he's threatening queen c3, because king f2 can be met by queen c2 check, and that's going to win some material, either the rook or the bishop. But white has a spare move in the middle of that to improve the coordination, probably rook e1 again, I guess. I imagine they've already been there, in fact. So it's not entirely clear to me how black makes progress, but it also feels slightly surprising if there are no further ways to try.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a big game, and a meet's half a point.
It's a very critical. I mean, it really is very important for both.
Got to try it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's got to try it, but I'm not quite sure what it is. He's got to try something.
But can't he? Oh.
Okay, so he's tried something, but still not totally clear whether it is enough. So black could take on d5 now, right? Like there are no mates, clearly. Oh, I tell you what, that's a very nice trap. If he takes on d5, I think white can play g5 and force a discovered check against the queen.
Oh, because if you take that,
then rook g4 check is winning the queen, and wherever the queen goes, there's a check. That's a very nice trap.
Okay.
I mean, it's almost, it's incredibly impressive if he plays that trap and sees everything at this speed.
But hang on. Wouldn't you play queen takes rook?
Well, you would if the g pawn wasn't on g5, and you're not going to get to catch it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. No, that was that's very unfortunate. So it really is a very, very nice trap. I'm pretty sure that. Yeah.
So he's got to play king d3.
I think yes. I'm sure he's already done whatever he's got to do. Yeah, he's got to go. Oh my goodness! Did he fall for the trap?
What happened there?
Well, I mean, it was basically.
Let's see if he did fall into that trap. Then he did. Look.
Oh wow!
Sorry.
So that happened, yeah.
I think
g5. Yeah, king take move 123. King takes d5, g5.
Oh gosh!
And then he did what I had figured he had to do, which is take the rook and play king e5. But it looked pretty hopeless, and the game course suggests it was pretty hopeless.
Yeah,
that is a really, really nice trap.
A vicious trap.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a high level trap that you wouldn't expect someone to see in a slower game, but obviously in Blitz, it's incredibly dangerous, that kind of thing.
Wow. Yeah, because it looks like there's a different trap that you're aiming.
Yeah, I mean, you could easily think White's decided that White's trying to take the e7 pawn for some counterplay or something, rather than realizing g5's on the card. Wow, that's a really big moment, and yeah, nicely done by Eldar, and really tough on Amit. But
so Tom did draw. And what about Andrew? Andrew won.
Andrew won. Wow, that's important.
So does that take him then?
So we have a quick look. See,
switch to the game.
We could rush through the early part.
We can't really. We'll have a couple of minutes. Five.
Yeah, this already looks pleasant for black. I mean, I don't know if white was reckoning on black having to take on f5 or something, but the fact that black didn't need to. I mean, it's not anything big. Now I'm not so sure, but it's nice having this g5, g4 counterplay and the bishop pair.
That was it.
That was it. So is that a loss on time? Perhaps. I mean, it's very, very grim for white after
black can take on.
But I don't think you resign in a game of Blitz.
No.
There is grim and there's resigns. But again, that's the way Andrew seemed to me to be playing in the qualifier we were in. Just very sensible, rational chess and taking his chances when they come.
Hi, Outspanner. Yeah. Okay. And so he's the lead then. Andrew, clear. Have we got it? We got the updated. Let me share it on the stream.
Yes. So basically, Andrew and Eldar keeping pace with each other, an incredible point and a half ahead now.
Are they the same? Okay, yes, because they both won.
Yeah, they both won, and that's...
Wow, have they played each other yet?
I believe they have, although it's worth just checking.
Yes, they did. That was the previous round.
Right.
And Andrew won.
Oh, Andrew beat Eldar. That's another insignificant reason that he's right up there, having...
But you know what that also means? I think that's the first tiebreak.
It may well... yes, it was certainly the first tiebreak in the qualifiers, I think, so...
Yeah, it's actually written on the website, so I'm going to
just... no, I'm sure. Okay.
Tiebreaks. In the event of tie for round 15, tiebreaks will be as follows. Number 1, direct encounter. So that's big too. So they were 1.5 clear.
Well, I think, I mean, in a tournament, I mean, you could make another case for the qualifiers, but in a tournament where everyone's playing everyone, that seems a very, very sensible first tiebreak, doesn't it? Because it's... Yeah. Because, you know, other things like having played a completely different field or something just don't arise, so... Okay, I'm going to just flick to the women's as well. Yeah, indeed. Let me just... I think it's this one. Yes. So a win for Badana. Badana winning against Emma. We had Elmira against Camilla. So Elmira beating Camilla is quite a significant result, isn't it? That's because Elmira's still kind of up there. She's right up there, yes. Carmel won. She's been on a winning streak. She has, yes. Shambavi's won. And Elmira Walker has won, which I think is her first win. So I think that's her first win. That's good. And Mayenne has won. And Ellis has won. Oh, sorry, that's a huge game. We should have followed that a little bit. That one is right at the top of the women's. I think Ellis against Meijan. Yes, that's true. That is right. Let's have a look at the. Can we see the standings in the women's, maybe? Yeah. Let's do that now. So women. So okay. So Ellis is on 8.5. Elmira on 8. And Badana on 7.5, and Badana's crept up to third. That's it. And of course Carmel as well, after so many wins, is up there on equal. And third. I think Ellis and Elmira are both still to have the bye. So let me just check if that's true. Really? Okay. So, yeah, because Ellis gets the bye next. So now, okay. Then we don't need to keep remembering. And then Elmira, I think, also still needs to have the bye. She has it last. Oh, the final round. Okay, so that might help to so clarify, for example, what Ellis needs going next is you might follow this. Badana. So Elmira against Badana's happening. Oh, that's a big one, yes. In the next round. And Badana, I know she's had the bye, and Carmel, I don't know. Carmel has had the bye very early, by the way. The bye. So those two are actually is closer than it even looks. Yeah. Because those two have a game in hand, as it were. Yeah. So it is all really, really close at the top of the women's. It is very, very tight. It's quite impressively so, yeah. Yes. Okay. And let's just see. So it's round 12 next. I'm just going to see how we... Oh, 1 minute ago. Okay, let's try. So let's find... Oh, you can't see that. I can't see. I can only see the standings at the moment. Is that... That's good. I can see now. Stores. Okay. I'm going to go into this. Yeah, let's dive into Badana and okay. No, but it hasn't started yet, so that's fine. And it should start any moment now. And I'm just going to look. I won't share my screen. The round 12 for the Open. Yes. Looking for some big parents. 2 minutes ago, it says, so it should have started. Okay. Andrew against Jonah. Okay. Where's Jonah in the table? He's Jonah.
So Jonah is 5.5 out of 11, so on 50%. All right, one moment. Let's let you back in. Hello.
Hi, do you know what happened there? I wasn't aware I'd gone, but
you maybe lost connection for a second.
That's not good. Okay.
Yeah. Should we see
I said
how
I was going to move if that happened again. I might give it one more chance because moving will be
in the break. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Or maybe we are in the break. Let's see if this.
We're not supposed to be in the break.
We're not supposed to be in the break. 3 minutes ago, it says. Okay.
Yeah, there were other big games. I mean, Camilla against Carmel feels like a very big
Let's see if
game.
that one started.
That's a big game too.
That hasn't started either.
Oh. Should we check if the open has started? Because that might.
Yeah, I'll just do it.
Clarify.
No, it hasn't either. Maybe the.
Oh, okay, now there's some moves on Camilla and Carmel at least.
Fine, let's do it. So Camilla and Carmel. So we have Sicilian, F4 Sicilian.
Yeah, one of those funny sort of F4. Well, you play F4, but you already have D3 and Bishop E2 on the board.
Yes.
I sort of understand them. I'm not sure I understand so well against. When black plays E6, I sort of feel slightly as white, like I'd rather have the bishop somewhere else, but maybe that's wrong.
This one on E2.
Yeah, I mean. So how does white sort of build an attack? So H5 is doing a good job securing that knight on F5. And black's already quite far advanced on the queen side.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of thinking, what's white's kind of counterclaim, if you like? What does white have to say for their position in return?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I'm thinking that, I think I'm willing to say I'd slightly rather be black here, and that Carmel's made quite a lot of progress already.
Yeah.
Is the knight on F1? Is it? I mean, if it hops to E3 to challenge the other knight, then there's some exchange, and black will probably try to play G4, and there's some potential for trouble on that long white diagonal if something like that. I don't know if that's. I mean, there are downsides to that as well for black, but especially in Blitz, I kind of feel like the danger on the diagonal might be quite an important factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there were some positions in the kind of King's Indian attack kind of thing where white tries to play C4 and attack black center that way. But here the D4 square is so weak that doesn't feel like that feels like a very unpleasant thought for white as well. So I don't really know how she's going to carry on. And you can activate some pieces by playing D4, but then it really feels like that's something you should have done years ago rather than now.
Yeah.
So I must say I rather like Carmel's position, and
yeah.
But it just seems I'm guessing it's frozen because I doubt white's having quite this long. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's have a look at Bodana.
That's interesting because I thought it was saying she was going to be playing black, but she's actually playing white.
I hope they've got it right.
Yes, I thought chess results was saying she was black. I'm going to just check now.
Okay.
Badana. Oh no, sorry, this is my mistake. No, chess results says she's playing white. That's all fine.
Okay, so what?
Good.
I sort of. This has a kind of, what were the first moves of this game? It has a kind of C3 Sicilian type feel to it, where
she plays.
It was nothing like. It was an early H3 Sicilian. That's interesting.
2 knight C3, yeah.
Sorry, it's a Khan. I misread the first move. That makes more sense. Okay, H3 in that context makes a lot of sense. Just avoiding a pin on G4. As Matthew said earlier, very often when you're black, it's quite nice to change a pair of minor pieces. And as white, there's some. Oh my goodness, that's progress. Okay, so this is I think that the first thing White wants to do is stop Black having any serious dynamic counterplay with f5 and e4, which she's kind of done quite well, I think. A change of White squared bishops feels like quite good news for White, and obviously if Black has to take on b3, then the weak a6 pawn feels even weaker by virtue of there being an open file as well. So I kind of like the pressure Badana is putting on here. I mean, I think at some point Black... No, I'm not sure what the end of that sentence is. Black would love to play something with f5, but I think in this position, White probably doesn't even take. She retreats or pushes the knight forward, and g6 sort of is weak in the interim as well. I don't see it. I mean, maybe
you could play rook takes e6, couldn't you? Knight c5.
Sorry. No, I think to play f5, she would have to take on b3 first, which, as I said, she doesn't really want to do. And they've gone along, and this looks very, very nice for Badana. Oh wow, I thought she might be able to. I think she could have gone in with c7 immediately.
Okay. So now last year they got to so Badana was in the lead all the way through, and then I'm going to let Peter in again. Yeah. So I was just saying, Peter, last year Badana was in the lead, and I think Elmira won against Badana right at the final stages.
She was actually in the league, because I mean, obviously, I knew about her second place. I didn't realize.
No, she was in the league the whole tournament.
Oh wow! Okay.
And then two things slipped her up. Which one was the game against me, and then the other was the game against Elmira, I think, if I'm remembering it right. And she was just beating everybody else.
Right. I think she really missed a little bit of a chance with that c7.
Okay, so she could have just gone c7.
Because I think c7 and rook b8 was just doing the business, because the bishop was hanging on f8. Whereas now, you know, I still like her position, but it's not so easy to make progress while making sure that c6 pawn is covered all the time, because obviously the accompanying b pawn is very well blockaded now.
She could go. What if she does like rook c4 and tries to?
Well, rook c4. Then I guess that if Black trades and plays king d5, Black is winning the c6 pawn at least. And I mean, it's quite possible that she can't afford to take that in some circumstances, because there might, you know, for example, if White went king d3, then Black took on c6, and you get a pure knight versus bishop ending. If White can get the king to c4, that feels very unpleasant for Black as well. That might just be winning for White. So maybe you can do that. But yeah, I mean, that might be a very sensible way to play, actually, rook c4. Yeah, I think that, I mean, that helps White a lot, that the pure knight v bishop ending, if White's king can avoid Black's king sort of nestling on b5 or d5, then I think it's very, very good for White. Because, well, firstly, there's an outside pass pawn, and secondly, the Black bishop really is very bad. Yeah, I'm always interested in things where bishops with pawns on the same color as itself are not really that bad. You know, I'm very interested in bad bishop exceptions, but this sure is not one of them. It really is a bad piece. Yeah, that king just invades and takes everything. So I think, you know, obviously in any ending, it's really helpful whether the possible sort of simplified endings you can reach are good for you as well. That's a very good safety net. Nonetheless, the question is really just how to make progress. Rook c4 I quite like. I wonder whether we'll... Oh, half.
Oh, finished. All done.
But not finished here, surely.
Oh,
if it was, then I think she'll really look back on the c7 moment, probably.
No, I think it's finished.
Yeah, I mean, why not try your rook c4 move? I think it may well be that Black wouldn't play ball and would just retreat the rook to b6. And of course, if you have very little time on the clock and you can't find a plan, that's always a very unpleasant feeling, because you just literally don't know what you're doing next.
Yeah.
But I'd be surprised if this was as simply drawn as all that. On the other hand, Badana is very good at endgames, and if there was an easy way to make progress, she would probably have done it. Okay. That's interesting.
Right. So Camilla won against Carmel.
Did she? Okay.
Yes. We were liking Carmel's position, actually, weren't we?
We were liking Carmel's position, although it was obviously, you know,
early days. Yeah.
It's the kind of liking which can change especially when it's a game of Blitz. Oh, so something not dissimilar to what I said did happen. She did play knight to e3, and after a short interval black did play the d4 idea with the long dart, and I said there may be downsides to this.
Yes.
But
and white's exchanged off the board.
Yeah, I wasn't sure that I was doing it if white could challenge the diagonal so easily. I think it's already quite pleasant for white once. I didn't really check the detail if white could challenge that. So, that's a nice breakthrough. That's a nice breakthrough.
That's a nice little,
yeah, because white gets a lot of
Camilla
white squares, and it's not legal.
Very nice, actually.
Oh,
really
wow.
nice. Really
nice.
F5
and E6 is obviously a very good breakthrough. So it was quite.
That's
yeah, that's that.
Yeah, very nice.
Okay.
Well played, her.
Shall we see what's happened in the other section? See what damage has been there. Oh, wow.
So, oh my goodness, that one's checkmate.
It's a bit odd. It says white is victorious, but black's just given mate. So that seems somewhat unlikely.
True.
I did in one of Dave Norwood's blitzes when Bill Hartston made a very one-off comeback to play in one of Dave Norwood's blitz tournaments. I did actually give mate to him while losing on time.
Oh no.
We weren't quite sure what happened. I mean, it's just conceivable that happened there, but it does seem quite unlikely. Yeah. We agreed to draw because it wasn't a terribly important occasion, but from the point of view of winning and stuff. But what happens in something like this? Normally, I think mate ends the game, but if you actually lose on time while making, I don't know whether kind of losing on time ends the game as well. Right? So there's 2 games going on still.
I'm not sure though, because that one looked a bit.
What's with Keith and Eldar? Is that? Oh, or indeed this one.
So that was Keith and Eldar. It looked like Eldar was 2 pawns up and a rook and pawn, so probably black win. And this one looks like.
This looks like Jonathan's.
White's a piece up.
Completely lost.
Maybe John lost on time. It's possible. Okay, so if I'm going to just refresh.
If we have a break, I think I'm going to move.
Yeah, we have a break now. So
okay, I think I'll run upstairs where the Wi-Fi is better.
Sure.
I like having my cozy office, but I think it's not working.
Okay. So I've just hidden you on the stream if you're still watching, Peter. So you can go and move. Okay, so what we have, we're looking at the open at the moment. So what I'm going to do is get the standings up, actually. And we have, let's see, the open. So in the open, after round 12, okay, we have now, Eldar Gasanov is half a point ahead, actually, now of Andrew Horton. And then 1 point behind that, we have a meet. So let's see. So Eldar got a win against Keith, and Andrew got a draw with Jonah. Okay, so just 3 rounds left, and Eldar half a point in the lead. So let's have a look at the women. And now extremely close at the top, Elise, who has now had her bye. Elmira, half a point ahead of Meishan and Badana, who are half a point ahead of Camilla, Mayen, and Carmel. So we know Elmira's got her bye in the very last round. Let's see, let's let Peter back in. Hi, Peter. Did that work? Let me just, no, using the wrong one. Let's hide that one, put you on. Hi, sorry about that.
Hi. Oh, that's good. Okay.
You're relocated.
I'm relocated the internet, but I've got company up here. I've got 2 kittens, which hopefully won't play a role in proceedings, but you never know.
Are they Can you show them on the screen?
I could. Oh, it's a very untidy sofa, and they're kind of fast asleep and looking.
If they're asleep, don't disturb them.
No, they're looking resentful that I'm even here, really.
Oh dear. Yes.
Only slightly. They're
Yes.
very sweet.
Yes. I was just going through the standings. So just 3 rounds to go. We've got Ellis in the lead with Elmira. We remember Elmira's got a bye in the last round. And then
Of course, Ellis just had her bye, so she has, in a sense,
Ellis has had her bye now, so she's now
okay.
She now really is there in the lead, and yeah, so very, very close at the top.
So did Carmel lost to Camilla? Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Sorry, that's what he does. That's what we just saw.
Yes.
No, obviously beautiful. That was the nice F5.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm losing the plot there. Yeah. Okay, that was also a very, very significant result. Okay,
so I'm going to just go back there, and round 13 next. Okay, it's not showing yet who they're playing. 13. Okay, it is for the Open, so I'm going to share that screen. So that is this one. Is that the Open? Yeah. So what we have this round, what is in store? We have John Spillman against Daniel Kozusek. We have Tom against Bao. We have Jake against Ethan. Jacob against Araz. We have Eldar against Gediminas, Daniel against Keith, Jonah against Amit, and Jose against Andrew. Okay, Jose, Andrew, that's the two Bristol qualifiers from the tournament. Right. Okay. Who tied in Bristol, so there wasn't much between them. Okay. Well, now but Andrew's going to need to play for the win for this one because he's just half a point now behind. Yeah, just 3 games left, and we know Andrew will win. Well, we think Andrew will win tie break, but I think Jose's kind of quite happy with complicating games. I don't think he's the sort of player where you have to go wildly out of your way to play for a win. He will create things, and you can react to that, which is kind of nice. It's kind of nice. It's more unpleasant when you need to win with black against the very solid people who don't want to create anything. Yes. Okay. Playing. It says it's playing already, so I'm just going to go into that one and just see if they really are. Not yet. Really aren't. Okay. Really aren't. We'll see that they really aren't. Now look at Jacob against Aras, and they really aren't either. So let's have a look at the. Did you go through the standings of this while I was off? Yes, I did. Okay. I did all that. Okay, and I'm just going to see if that one will refresh and give us some games. Not yet. Okay, so if we go back to the Open, and that does look like it started. Okay, good. Okay, so since we're here, let's have a look at Jacob against Araz. Okay, so the Queen D6 Scandinavian. Sorry? Scandinavian, yes. Yeah, with Queen D6, I'm never quite sure I fully understand the appeal, but of course, if White doesn't make something concrete, you're trying to get a kind of Caro-Kann structure without too many of the theoretical complications, I guess. And if White doesn't, if you look at this position, White has a little bit more space, but no very obvious pawn breaks, no very obvious way to increase the pressure, I guess. So it's come out pretty solid for Black here. And yeah, you can, this structure, it's notoriously tricky to make progress with exactly what they have now, just the bishop versus the knight. It's a tiny edge for White, but proving it is. Okay, so fairly drawish, really. Well, I mean, that's a bit strong, but it's certainly not a sort of simple to convert initiative, or there's no very fixed idea for how to play with this bishop against the knight. Yeah. Alrighty. Let's look at
Yeah, let's have a look at Eldar. Gedamina started really well. Yeah, I'm not sure where he is now, but he looked really impressive. Hello. See. Sorry, no, I thought for a minute the bishop was trapped. Oh, that's quite clever. So the bishop is hit, and I was just going to say if he takes, then the A7 pawn was going to be on prise, which has all
been
happened.
taken. It's all happened.
So this looks pretty lovely for white, because if black recaptures the pawn on G5, then white just has extra space and development. And
could they go bishop A6?
You could if it was your move.
No, I mean after knight G5.
Oh, sorry. After that, yeah, you probably could do that as well. Yeah, no, I mean it's that really looks quite tough. I'm just wondering if there's any other way for black to sort of, as Jonathan would say, make a mess here, because just this kind of B4, B5 is pretty strong at the in normal times, but here with the rook already on A7, I mean B6 is a massive threat, because that's just past pawns that you're never going to stop.
Yeah.
But if black takes on B5, that also looks hideous. White could take either way. Probably with the knight clearly wins a pawn, with the bishop threatens C6. This is just winning for white, I would say.
Maybe black has to.
I'm not quite sure what was the opening. It was some strange Slav, and black got caught by a
C4.
Oh, it's a very, very early bishop F4. That could be the unusual feature. That's interesting. So it means after this queen B3, I mean, this idea of playing C5 when black has to take, is a standard idea, and this looks lovely for white. I would have thought that black needs to try something different on move 5 somehow, because
this is it. This was already.
This kind of thing is known to be lovely.
That's it. Early.
Oh, yeah, like you say, bishop A6 probably was a move, but B5 is so strong.
Yeah,
you almost don't need to bother.
Yeah. They can maybe go knight takes C5.
Is that a suggestion from somebody, or is that just?
That's me.
That's
but I was thinking to try and get the piece out, and then.
No, I understand. To be honest, I'm sure white can take the piece. Oh no, but you can't take with bishop because there's rook A8 check skewering your rook.
A8.
Oh, so only one. You're only gaining one pawn, really.
No.
Oh my word.
Oh, so what have they done? I
mean, bishop B5 is a tempting move. I would have thought. C7 looks like it wins as well completely.
So rook C8.
Yeah, this is just.
This is just going to be good for.
And bishop B5 or C7. That's a pretty pleasant choice.
Yeah.
C7 wins at least a piece, but bishop B5 might be even better. That gives you an idea how bad things are.
Okay, so we need to look then at Andy Horton.
Yes.
Who is
with Jose.
Yeah. Andrew's currently in second place.
So I think partly because I said Jose's the sort of player who will create stuff. He's solid.
On solid.
But having said that, I actually quite like the solid he has here. I mean, it's not obvious to me that taking on F6 and playing E4 after isn't one reasonably pleasant way to go. You get the sort of position where, you could imagine that if black can play F5 and liberate everything, the bishops could become quite strong. But in the short term, I think white has decent chance. So taking on F6, black has to play G takes. And then I'd be tempted to go E4 just to control that F5 square. And then my next move might be something like knight E3. And I'm always looking to to exchange light squared bishops in that kind of position. Okay, knight E3 you have to think twice because black has bishop H6. But in principle, I don't dislike that for white. It's not dissimilar to what he's done. But
there we go. It's a bishop's landed on H6.
Yeah, I think I would have been tempted to go E4. E3, I understand that with E4, with E3, you want to not cede so many dark squares because you've just exchanged your dark square bishop. But I'm not sure that that's the overriding consideration. I think he could have played a little bit more aggressively there, maybe. So Andrew's just going on a sort of policy of bothering white's pieces so they can't sit comfortably on their squares. Presumably it's black's move, yeah?
Black to play, yeah.
There has to be some pressing reason why b5 doesn't win a
Can't you
piece.
just go b5?
Queen a3 is probably the pressing reason.
b4, then you just go queen b3.
Well, it might go queen a6 even. And then if I go queen a6, I might be threatening knight a5. I sort of, yeah, if b5 doesn't win a piece, then it's not a piece you want a move you want to be playing. But yeah, white needs queen a3 there. So interesting. I mean, another move that crosses my mind is rook d6. Take advantage of that pin. Oh wow, that all feels a bit irrelevant suddenly. I have to say, black is a piece up, in what superficially looks like a rook ending, but is actually not. Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever happened, it went well for black. Can we just see what Andrew did at that point?
So which move are we on?
He did go b5, and oh my goodness, Jose missed queen a3.
I didn't play queen a3. Yes.
I mean, I think b5 is not a bad move in the sense that after queen a3 takes, maybe black just plays something like a6, and then the knight is not really where it wants to be. But I mean, that's obviously the move you have to play to. Oh my gosh, there is queen a3, queen f2 I hadn't considered. But nonetheless, you've got to do that, because after you go something like knight a5 and you still have a check on c6, you're still playing chess. Whereas after what he did, black's just a piece up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to try queen a3 here. That's a surprising.
This was what happened.
Mistake. Yeah. Interesting. I mean, I imagine certainly in my own experience of playing the qualifier, by round 12, you're pretty tired. There's a lot of things can happen in round 12 which wouldn't have happened many rounds earlier, I think. Anyway, this is probably 0-1.
This is going to be enough for Andrew.
Well, it may well be that it's already over.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what else.
Who else was right up there? Let's maybe Tom. Yeah, this is interesting. Because I see that Daniel Kozisek has beaten Jonathan Spielman as well, which is a interesting result. Because of course these guys, Daniel Kozisek and Bao, and they got some ridiculous score in the Welsh qualifier. They got sort of 14.5 or something.
Oh gosh.
Completely off the scale. And that's a pretty decent declaration that you're going to be at least some trouble when it comes to the final. So Tom and
actually Tom's won.
He's won. Yeah. What should we see very quickly?
Yes.
Like? Oh, he's got pawns storming up out of range on all sides.
Yes, past pawns being pushed.
Okay, so.
And that was a French defense.
And yes, Tarash.
And there was one more game that's still going on, which is Jacob.
Oh yeah, let's have a look.
We started this, didn't we? Yeah.
Oh wow, Jacob has some dangerous pawn. That rook is going nowhere. That's probably. I think that king might be in the middle for a 1-0 actually. B6 traps the rook.
Right. Yeah.
A fair sign that.
Yeah. That must be over. All right. Shall we switch to what happened in the women's section?
Yeah.
So here we go. We might have lost the power there for the women's.
Oh.
I've got one other way I might be able to look at that, which is the live cloud. So let me just open that.
Is it round 13 we're after, or are we on 12 or 13?
Oh, is it 12? In that
case,
it's
12. That might be why.
That could be why.
That might be more promising. There you go. Isn't that not it?
Well, no, the men's opens round 13.
Is it? Oh, in that case, I'm out of touch.
Yeah, around 13. I'm just going to do a.
Is that really true? The open was 13.
Yeah.
Ah.
Because we said there were 3 more to go just before the.
Okay.
Round 13. Okay, what I'm going to do first of all is show this, which is results, standings. So we have Eldar a full point That's clever. How did he do that? He's a 4 point ahead now of.
I'm a bit confused because Andrew Horton just won.
I thought Andrew Horton just won. So now I'm confused too. Let's click on Andrew Horton. It's showing it as a draw.
What?
It's showing it as a draw on here.
He was a piece up. And yeah, he was a piece up and motoring as far as we could see.
Let me just show
That's
this.
extraordinary.
So if we look at.
By the way, I noticed there that Amit beat Jonah with black, so he's sort of back.
Oh, he's back
challenging
in.
a bit again.
It's hard to believe this is a draw. I don't really believe it's a draw.
Does really make no sense.
No.
That's, yeah, a little difficult to understand.
The last few moves were like this.
Yeah, so he's sort of perpetually attacking the bishop, but it's difficult to see any reason why it can't just go to d4 instead.
No.
That's very, very strange.
So why can't you put the bishop on d4?
Yeah, so it doesn't make any sense to me that you can't go to d4. And I mean, it's not like white even has a pawn for the piece. So.
Don't know. I don't know.
No, it's beyond the.
Yeah. Okay.
It's beyond the wit of the commentary team. That one.
Bit of a mystery.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a very important half point, so it's a shame not to understand what happened because Andrew was keeping pace with Eldar so well.
Yeah. Okay. What I have found is the women's. We can let's see if the standings are on here, or otherwise I've got the live stream where it is after round 13. So here we go. We have Ellis and Elmira both on 9.5.
It's not showing at the moment.
Sorry, let's make sure that is showing. There we go. So
okay, there we go.
We have Ellis and Elmira 9.5, and Meishan and Badana on 9.
Badana is now only half a point off the lead. That's quite.
She is, and let's just see. Meishan has had the bye, so she's only half a point off the lead as well. So she has left to play Shambhavi and Anurai.
Mm-hmm.
And
so is it possible to see the results of the round we just had? Because I'm a little.
Yeah. I can do that if I just show.
Okay, okay, that's great.
So let me just try and share that. So it's this one. So this is the this stream, the live stream. So Elmira got a win against.
Sorry, this is not showing again.
Sorry. Just that one here. Here you go. You see that?
Yep, that's good. So yeah, Elmira got a win.
Yes.
Oh, Badana beat Carmel. That's a very.
Beat Carmel. Camilla beat Irina. Anurai won against Xiao. And Shambhavi won against Mei En. And Meishan won against Elmira. And Ellis won against Kanishka. So 2 more rounds. And Ellis is. I just read it out a moment ago and I've now forgotten again. I think is she clear in the lead? Or
no, I think there were 2 of them. I think it's her and Elmira. No?
Yes. But Elmira still needs to have the bye.
Right. Okay, so in that sense, she is.
So in that sense,
quite well placed.
Ellis has, Yes. Okay. Very
She
exciting.
also, by the look of it, beat Elmira in their individual game, right? That's TB1.
Ooh, that's a good thing
That's
to
quite
check.
significant, isn't it? Yes, round 6.
She did.
Yeah.
So
that
looking
may be significant when it comes.
promising for Ellis.
It does, yeah. It's nice because she had a slightly disappointing end to the European youth. She was really up there and playing good chess, and then it just went a little bit wrong at the end. So she bounces back this quickly. That's
Oh wow! Oh, well done her.
Yeah,
Very good. Very good.
when people bounce back.
Yes.
Bounce back ability, as Barry Heimer calls it. That's a good,
Yes.
pretty good characteristic in a chess player, which I don't have.
No,
But I'm working on it.
I don't really either.
No, I'm working on bounce back. It's constant work on
Right.
bounce back ability, but yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, good. So they are kicking off in 2 minutes. Is that right?
Yes, I can get the women's via that website, the sort of live stream one, but not via not via Lead Chess at the moment. Okay, so if I go back, so it's round 14 about to start. In 1 minute, it says. Okay, so if I share that one,
Yep,
we can see the pairings in the open. So this round, what does it bring us? It brings us Daniel Kozusek against Andrew Horton, and Amit against Jose, and Keith against Jonah. Keith against Jonah, they must have played a lot of times.
Yeah, I've seen a few of them. They have.
Demonas.
It's strange though, because Jonah's not exactly old. We don't sort of think they must have played a lot of times in the way that you think with Keith and Hebbs, but
no,
but they have had. But Jonah is very active on, or has been active on the weekend circuit a lot. So
from that kind of area, or they played the same sort of circuit.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I've played a lot of tournaments with both of them for sure.
Yeah.
And
Aras against Eldar.
And Elder, yeah, Elder's black against Aras.
Yeah, so we've got to look at Elder and Andrew. They're both playing black this round.
Indeed. Probably keep an eye on Amit as well.
And we've got to keep an eye on Amit.
And Tom O'Gorman playing black against John. It's just lots of interesting games this round. The more we can get a quick look at, the better, probably.
Yes, I can't remember how Tom's there in 4th with 8.5.
Yeah, he's still there or thereabouts. He's been playing really well.
Yes. So Elder's a point. Well, yeah, maybe Elder's a point clear, although it does. I'm still not 100% convinced that Andrew drew that last time.
That's a very, very strange thing. I'm really confused. Although, the fact that there's a series of repeated moves at the end makes you.
Maybe, yeah.
But it's just totally incomprehensible. I mean, even if. Well, I mean, what happens if you have. Yeah, there's increment, isn't there? So. Yeah. So if there's increment there should never be a draw where you just start running out of time completely. So.
Yeah.
You don't even have to worry about mouse speed because it's in real life, isn't it?
Okay, so 1 minute ago it's saying. So let's start with
Yeah, let's have a look.
Start with this one. Okay, hasn't quite started yet. See if those games started.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Not yet. Okay, so just if he is really 1 point clear with 2 games to go, then he could more or less potentially finish it this round.
I don't know. I mean, I was clear in the qualifier with 3 rounds to go, and I managed not to come in the top 2 places, which is quite.
Really?
That requires quite a lot of sort of creativity. But it's all, anything can happen at any stage.
Yeah.
I went completely nuts in the penultimate round. When actually I hadn't realised that half a point more than what I got would have qualified. So going nuts was completely crazy. I just needed to be sensible and solid.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's strange there's no play yet. What's going on here? Did you want to check the other website? Just make sure there's not a problem with Lead Chess, perhaps.
Let me just. I won't share. Oh, the moves have started on that other website. Okay, what I'll do is share it. Here we go.
Oh, wow. Okay. Quite a few moves.
Yes. So this is Anurai against Mei Eng. What I'll do, if we share actually Ellis, so she will need to, if she wins her last two, it's kind of in her hands to just win the event.
It is. It seems to me that after D takes C5 here, she's slightly worse.
Ah.
It's
She's going to try and. I can't draw.
Oh wait, I'm wrong. She has Bishop B5. That's an important. Oh, sorry, White hadn't castled before that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe there was Bishop B5 anyway, but now that sees her out. So now she can, I don't know, maybe play even Rook D8 and
Rook D8. She's
playing. But there
playing.
is Queen B3 here, so then Black has to be a little careful about the B7 pawn.
Yeah.
Maybe Queen B3, Bishop A6. Then White has the option to take on C5, and it's fairly balanced.
Okay.
And that's all of what's happening. Actually, yeah, no, it's fairly balanced because White can't take on B7 because of Rook B8. So, okay, but that's a very reasonable start to the game from Elmira as well.
Yes, and so let's look at Badana.
Oh wow, this looks very nice for Badana.
She's a rook up.
Oh, she's a rook. I was counting the pawns. I forgot to count the rook. She is a rook up, yeah, which actually puts everything I was going to say into
Agreed. It's looking very nice for her.
Yeah, well, that bit was true. Yeah, it's looking very good for her. Okay, that one we don't need to dwell on anymore.
Then we wanted to see Elmira. Emma against Elmira,
who is taking pawns and has a lot of. Well, she's got. I was going to say she has a lot of dark squares, but she also has quite a few light squares as well. It's just a very nice. Oh, she's a rook up as well. Let's not dwell on the colours of the squares. She's a rook ahead.
Okay, let's see Madara against.
I'm going to start every game now by counting the rooks.
Counting the pieces. Okay,
it's two.
Yeah, all the same in rooks. This one, but a pawn up for White.
And
and you could maybe.
That's quite interesting. So it's a little, sort of desperado situation where one side's attacking a piece, the other side attacks the piece. She made that decision very quickly, as far as we could see. But why?
They're all going very quickly, these games, actually, for this round 14.
Yeah, this is. Oh,
she can take on knight takes e6, can't she?
Yeah, then that's actually a change of rooks. But again, that's a very astonishing speed to make that decision. Black's only hope here is that Black has a bishop.
I'll tell you why it feels different as well. Is because these we're seeing every single move as opposed to them coming in batches.
Yeah, that's quite helpful. White is threatening mate, which is relevant, I think.
Yeah, you've got to think about that.
Probably worth factoring in. And Bishop D6 doesn't cover. Rook F8 sort of covers. But it's only one pawn. It was two. I thought it was two pawns. Let's go. So if Rook E8, Black can retreat the other rook to D8, so staving off, and possibly actually could even take on H4 because Rook E8 doesn't contain a threat of mate, does it?
Yeah.
So actually, Black has some kind of counterplay she's managed to achieve here. So White will take. Now White could consider knight E6 as well, but didn't. No, what I mean is 96. Oh God, now 96 would have been a good move. That was actually.
Oh no, now they should. Oh yeah.
No, but she can play rook. She now has the chance to play rook f7. Before the idea was then to play rook b8 check. Oh, rook b8 check's not possible. There's a bishop on g3. Rook d8 check and knight g5, but that is no longer Now taking the rook and knight g5, it's over. Well, I mean, it's not over because there's a passed h pawn, but it's big news.
Yes.
And now white needs to just not allow that h pawn to queen. It should be possible to control those white squares, I think.
Yeah.
But the thing is, black needs the king to support it, because you can get the pawn all the way to h2, and the move rook h1 will suffice for them. Or covering h1. Oh god, you don't want the rook on g4. That's the one place where it might not cover what you need. Now she needs to play rook g1 before things turn nasty. So she has got the rook to cover h1, but in not the most efficient way. She could have been doing things on the queen side by now, I think. Nonetheless, I think white is still
going to be good.
It's still going to be good, yeah. But okay, it's not so easy, because, like, what's your next move? You need to keep h1 covered. I guess she can put the king to g2 and then play rook d3 and b3 check. That might be one good way to do it. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Ah, she's gone for the pawn ending. Another good way to do it.
Yeah.
How's that? Okay, that's pretty clear.
Okay.
So Carmel's streak in the middle has sort of come to an end a bit, hasn't it?
Yes. Camilla?
Yep.
Is winning.
That looks good.
And Annie
has Ellis drawn, did that say?
Oh.
No, it didn't say anything of the sort. Sorry, I'm completely creating headlines there.
Yeah, Ellis.
No, she's won a pawn, and converting this kind of thing is something she does well, which kind of needs to be the case, because these kind of openings are not, not.
She's saying 0-1. It's saying 0-1.
Oh wow!
So she must have won.
So what would have happened there? Maybe white losing on top? No, it's very unlikely. Anyway, yes.
Okay, so now let's see if I can get the open games. What are we doing? Round 14.
Yeah.
Okay, if I share that. There we go.
Okay, it looks like Andrew Horton has drawn.
Okay, Andrew's drawn against Daniel. Oh, and Eldar's lost.
Eldar's lost, okay.
Look.
This tournament keeps springing surprises.
New
sources of interest. And Amit is also... Okay, so Eldar, what happened here? It's quite dramatic.
Should we just quickly flick through it?
Yes, let's have a quick look. Okay, so Bogo Indian. I don't know the theory. I don't know why black has to release the tension that quickly, but I'm sure it is all okay. Yeah, I was going to say just f3, because e4 comes with some force, and although black's knight is quite sort of pretty on c5, there's not a lot of counterplay attached to it that I can see.
e4's in.
Yeah. So the question is, when e5 comes in, how is black going to contest the dark squares? That's kind of the...
e5's in.
E5's in, and actually very directly. It's not so much the dark squares generically as defending the c7 pawn probably is going to be tricky.
Oh, yeah, look at it.
I mean, rook c8 for the moment, but it's all very thematic from white. Oh, knight b7. Okay, but then knight d6 and then bishop e5. Yeah, that could go wrong very quickly. And presumably did.
Rook's defended.
Yeah, but...
No,
okay. Yeah, the rook is defended, and that is significant. Is that...
Not anymore, it's not.
Oh, but I also wonder, does that allow some... No, so he's still got some basic things covered. If bishop h3... Oh, bishop h3, rook e8, bishop e6.
Bishop takes knight.
Sorry? Oh, bishop takes knight?
Yeah.
It's just like...
The rook's no longer defended.
What you mean is when you said the rook's no longer defended, that could play an immediate role.
Yeah.
Why didn't you say Natasha? Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm with you there. There is not even a rook. There ought to be a rook f8 check in a more...
There's a couple of reasons why that doesn't work.
Yeah. Oh, wow. The
So
bishop
that-
e5 is quite a bad blunder. I'm sort of a bit surprised because, as you said, the rook wasn't defended. I thought it was very difficult for black, and then he seemed to have established some kind of a defense. Oh, wait a minute. Bishop f1 threatened bishop a6, which it took me a moment to key into that fact, but I think that's right. Bishop f1 by threatening bishop a6 sort of. But there's moves like I don't know.
Maybe you get knight b5. I know, but then you lose.
Well, but yeah, I mean, I think escaping to some kind of opposite bishop ending is probably what you dream of here. But knight b5, maybe just a4. I don't know.
Yeah.
But even if you get bishop a6, black can still go rook e8, hitting that bishop on e5. So white still needs a few more accurate moves to prove the advantage. But it's teetering because the bishop on e5 is a very, very fine piece, and the pressure on c7 is significant. Yeah, I mean, blunders happen under pressure. That's how it works, isn't it? That's what it's all about.
Okay, let's get the standings up going into the final round. So, in the open.
So now he's still half a point ahead, yeah? Yeah.
He's still half a point. Yes. Okay. So he's half a point ahead. So that's
And Amit has caught Andrew Horton by winning, I'm not sure, against.
Interesting. Okay. And so how has Amit done against Andrew and Eldar? So
he's got to play Andrew in the last round. Awesome.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's the sort of finish you want to see, isn't it?
So Amit lost to Eldar. And we know Andrew beat Eldar.
Yes.
So, okay.
And Amit just beat Jose with black in the game that we saw the beginning of. Yeah.
Yes. So Andrew Amit in the last round. Okay, we've got to keep an eye on that.
That is an exciting last round.
Who does Eldar play?
That's a very good question.
Eldar plays against Ethan.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. And then if we look at the women,
with white as well, which is nice.
So going into the final round. So now we know Elmira has the bye here.
Oh gosh, so that's a lovely situation for Ellis to.
So Ellis
not have to worry about being overtaken.
And did Ellis and Badana? How did that go? Ellis won against Badana. So Ellis only needs a draw to guarantee. Is that right? She only needs a draw to guarantee.
That's right. Yeah.
First.
Must be very frustrating for poor Elmira to have this bye in the last round. It does not, just to feel that everything's not in your hand. I mean, it's true. Now she simply can't win whatever happens to Ellis, yeah? But Badana could win if she overtakes her somehow.
Yes.
So who is Ellis playing? Did we just check that?
All I checked was something else.
What they played against each other, yeah.
Yeah. Ellis is playing Shambavi now.
Okay.
Who's a dangerous player, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is not maybe.
Okay. So let's see if we can get to them. So
we should have about 3 or 4 minutes before. Could we just see who Badana is playing as well? Because that's pretty relevant to the mix.
Okay, round 15 in 3 minutes. Badana is playing CL.
Okay.
Okay. And so I've just got, let me just share this screen. So this one is the open.
Yes. So as Loz just pointed out, we'd already mentioned particular eyes on Andrew and Amit. I think that's a really chunky last round clash.
Yes, and we'll keep an eye on Elder as well.
Yeah, no, of course.
Elder against.
And Tom O'Gorman, what happened to him in the last round? Is he still sort of striking? He's not quite striking range, right? But he's
Tom is still fourth, so 8.5, but he's not in striking range because that's a 1.5 behind Andrew and Amit.
Right. Okay. Exciting stuff.
Yes. Okay, and then the women, can I get the games on round 15? not on this site, but I can on this site over here. Okay. I'm just going to go to the open and just see if 2 minutes, it's saying.
Yep. Okay.
Have you played many times against Andrew or Amit, Peter?
I've had quite a rough time with Amit, actually. Much rougher, including when I was sort of higher rated than him. I also had quite a rough time with Amit. He's been quite an unpleasant opponent. I've almost always been black, which hasn't helped. But I've had one or two decent positions and then just handled them very badly. I think he's quite good at getting me into time trouble. I think I was putting up one of the best fights against him when he was sort of dominating the rapid play last year. And I missed quite a big chance towards the end, but it wasn't a very obvious chance. So no, I've had a rough time with Amit. I played Andrew Horton, of course, in the qualifier in the Blitz.
Right.
And we drew a fairly solid game. And no, I'm trying to remember. I've played Jamie Horton in classical, but I can't remember if I've actually played Andrew, which is a bit surprising. I mean, he's not sort of mega active, but they've obviously been around various British championships and things where I've seen them. They are lovely, lovely guys, by the way. Both of these players, you sort of.
So we'll expect this game to be played in a very nice spirit.
Well, I mean, I think I think most of the players in the tournament are pretty okay, but Andrew Horton is sort of pretty charming and courteous guy, and Amit as well as. I mean, Amit annoys me because he keeps beating me, but that's the only thing I can really hold against him. So. I'd like that to end sometime, actually, but the older I get, the less likely that.
But don't you think it'd be polite for him to just not beat you?
No, I don't think he's really latched onto that idea yet. No.
Oh, yeah.
But he's very courteous in victory, so what can you do?
Yes.
No, I was just trying to think. When you asked me that question, I was trying to think of. I can't think of many British players against whom I have a worse record than I do against him.
It's all started. So we have.
It has all started, yes. So it started kind of solidly.
Theoretically.
Well, Amit does. Amit is not very theoretical, and he does lots of sort of knight f3, g3, and the same with black. These kind of fianchetto, king-size fianchetto things are his staple diet. Oh, I did beat him. Actually, I did beat him once. I remember one win. But it feels like a long time ago now.
Yes. Okay. I
imagine there would be more moves, and we're not seeing.
I'm gonna hop a bit because.
Yeah, let's hop around because there's several.
Yeah. So let's see Elder as well.
Yeah.
And so he. What do we say? He's half a point clear.
I'd be very surprised if he's really spent nearly a minute reaching this position. That would.
No, I mean we know there's a bit of a delay.
That would be a bit eccentric. Interesting. I don't even know whether he's a Catalan player or a straight Queen's Gambit player, but obviously there are pleasant options for white in this position.
Yes.
Okay. Quick look at maybe
the women's. Or go on.
I don't know. I mean, all there are various interesting.
Let's see Jacob. Let's see Jacob.
Yeah, let's see. So what was this? Some kind of a French, yeah. A French exchange with an early c5 by black and an early c5 and c4. I kind of slightly like these structures for white when you have played a takes b3 and you have this extra. That's Keith's hierarchy of pawns, isn't it? He would like the fact that the pawn is one file. There's a pawn one file towards the center compared with. I mean, it's one man's this is another man's that. It's a potential past a pawn for black in an endgame, but there's a control of squares in the earlier stage, which is quite appealing. So, but there's not a lot to. I mean, it's an exchange French. There's not a lot to call at this stage. Yeah.
And if you look at Tom against Daniel.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's kind of Looks a bit like Fisher Random from Black, doesn't it? It's kind of got knights coming from H6 and A6.
From A8, yeah.
Kind of like it.
Mhm.
I remember Klaus Bischoff's opponent in some Open in Germany whipping out 1b4 with a big sort of grin on his face. And Klaus went, I think as soon as the bishop was on b2, Klaus went knight h6, f6, and knight f7. Sort of. And this kind of structure you're aiming for is not such a silly square for a knight. But I'm not sure what they're both doing there. Are they going to head to, do they go to d6 and e6? Or how do you?
Oh, maybe.
Okay, I think that this more seriously, the more serious point here would be if white can create serious tension in the center very quickly. So as white here, I would seriously take a look at the move d4, just to say, can I open the center while those knights are on slightly eccentric posts?
Oh,
It may not be a good move. It may be that black can take on e4 and go f5 very quickly. And then it could easily rebound against me. But yeah, thinking about it, that's not the way to do it. D takes an f5 is quite a good But,
Yeah.
okay, so it's one way to get a very original position, isn't it?
It is. It's fun.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's see. Jonah.
Keith, maybe?
Dominus.
Okay. Ooh, what's this? Doubled F pawns and some compensation for them. So this is one of these 4 knights where black plays the knight d4 stuff, and then white allows plays g takes f3 to keep the queen in the center. Well, it's kind of sharp.
Okay, go back to that, and I'm just gonna. That's moved on, hasn't it? Oh yes, that has moved.
It's all moved on quite.
Check if everything was happening still.
Interesting. So he managed to get some knight h4 and taking the bishop on f5. And I guess what black has in return, because when you get something like that, when it's the bishop pair and the little structural thing, I guess you want something in return. I guess is development. Little sense that white has.
Yeah, you got like the rook lining up against this queen.
Yeah, I mean you don't have time to go b3 bishop b2 as you might in an ideal world. So there's a little sort of development thing going on. I was wondering about queen b3 and black. You notice black didn't want to open the a file for white. Black was happier to force
get the double pawns, but have an open.
Yes, but okay. I mean the a file is less obvious value when your rook's already on c8, but still, knight c5 clearly has some value. It's interesting. You sort of feel like there ought to be a way for white to play a consolidating move which gives him a slight edge, but not entirely clear what it would be. For example, if you take on e6, black plays f takes, then I think next black would play with d5 to try and make the e4 square kind of a strong point. And again, you see sort of value in the knight having come to c5 in that kind of thing. So yeah, it's kind of nicely balanced in a very imbalanced kind of way, if you know what I mean. Like Jeremy Silman always used to go on about his imbalances. This one is full of imbalances, and I don't know who's.
Oh, wakes up.
I think I sort of kind of like black's activity, but suspect that if white is very careful, he might be able to find a way.
Okay, and this one. So this is the one. Eldar, if he wins, he wins.
Eldar is already 2 pawns up.
Looks nice for white, doesn't it?
It looks very nice for white. He's 2 pawns up with a big pass b pawn.
Yes.
And black doesn't really have anything to offer for them that I can see.
No. Okay, so that looks.
It looks like and let's see, that's enough for Eldar to win the tournament if he wins. Okay, that's a very enviable position to be in.
I'm going to see if we can switch across. So this is the.
Yeah, that would be good.
So we are going to look at Ellis.
Ellis
against Shambavi. And Ellis needs a draw. I think I'm right in saying Ellis needs a draw to win outright.
Whoa. Why couldn't black take on c3 in that position? Rook takes c3 check, deflecting.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I think you're right.
That would have been a nasty shot. particularly. Oh gosh, I think Ellis might have been a bit fortunate there if they've immediately drawn one move after that.
Yeah, it's showing as a draw. So I think.
Wow. Okay. I think that's a bit of a let-off. So
if I just go back to that?
Yeah.
So here, so the tactic Peter spotted is rook takes this pawn. I can't draw arrows, but king takes. And it's a deflection tactic, and then rook takes.
And then rook takes e2. It's like you win a pawn and your rook ends up sort of optimally placed on the 7th rank as well. So it's not like there's going to be any positional compensation for the pawn.
Yeah, because even if the king goes back to d2, black can just go
play rook c2 as well. And then you get the same thing, and you're winning the g pawn immediately as well. So that is quite a major shot.
Relief, yes, for Ellis that.
Yes,
that one didn't appear actually.
Yeah, probably slightly nervy, I guess. I wouldn't expect Ellis to miss that tactic in normal circumstances, but yeah.
All right, let's see Badana. Oh, she's won already.
Okay. Oh, is she? Okay.
I think so. Not one. Yes. So
very, very much not obvious from the diagram why that's the end of the game. Wait.
Black's a rook down.
Yeah, she's black. She's a rook down, so it doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. Yes.
Can we go back a few moves, see if we get a clue as to what might have actually happened? Because I'm pretty sure black winning in this position is not what actually happened.
I'm just going to go really quick. All kind of everything just coming off. No one's rook down.
I don't really understand f5 there if that's what really happened, but obviously it's some.
Look out.
I'm pretty confident that didn't happen.
That's not a move. Yeah.
That is not the move she played. I will.
No. Okay, fine. But it looks like she's won, but not in the way that it's showing here.
Yes.
And who was the other player that was
her? Well, Elmira isn't playing this round, so I think it was mainly Ellis and Badana in contention.
Yes. Oh, sorry, and Mei Shan is half point behind.
Okay, and she has won against Annuai. So.
Yes.
Shall we quickly see that?
Let's see that one there. Oh yes, and this
looks slightly painful. How did our queen get in there?
I can do this one very quickly. E4, A6. A Tony Miles opening.
Well, Annuai likes to do this kind of thing. And well, it obviously, I mean.
Oh, actually, because it's like Mike Basman's openings, isn't it?
Yes. No, she's obviously a bit of a fan of Mike Basman, but it's, you sort of think that these openings might be safer in Blitz, but on the other hand, it can, if it goes wrong, it can get quite nasty in Blitz. Yeah. Queen B7 seems like Queen D5, then Queen C8 check. So that's gone quite wrong. Okay, and Queen C8 check anyway. I was trying to work out how the Queen had got in there to take a rook on H8, but it had come via B7, which wasn't that obvious at a glance. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe we should head back to the open and just catch up on that.
Yes.
I think this one is decided in Ellis's favour, yeah?
Yes. So congratulations, Ellis.
Indeed, yeah. Well,
new UK Women's Blitz champion. Fantastic result, and congratulations also. We'll do the congratulations at the end, but
yeah.
Okay.
But Ellis always looked so focused at the board to me. I sort of like her board demeanour is the board demeanour of a strong player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's which I think that kind of matters in a way.
Eldar has won as well. So more congratulations.
Indeed, yeah. Well done, Eldar. That's good.
And
so I when I said this morning that it's always wrong to bet on Amit Ghazi and these things, this time it would have been
Yes.
the right solution. I still think it's a pretty fair bet usually. So what's happened here? It's they've got to king. They got to bishop and one coloured.
Wrong rook spawn.
He's only just reaching the corner as well. It's like
it's on the boundary of just getting.
Well, there's those things where you have there's those things where sometimes the bishop can cause the king trouble to getting into the right square. But yeah, he's a square away. The king is reaching h1 somehow. Just.
Okay, so I'm going to show the results. So if we look at the open, we can see that if I refresh my screen, it's still showing after round 14.
14, yeah, no, I think there's probably still a game or two going on. Should we just check in on anyone who's still playing?
The opening was all done. And the women... Oh, sorry, there is one more still going. Let me just get that one back up. Right, that one there.
Oh, wow.
So this is May N against Camilla. So Camilla has the pawns here. Hi, Blue Grey Hayes. Nice line up for the Hastings Masters. But not one of the English player in the top 10 starters. Any thoughts? No. The only thing I'd say is a lot of the English players, top English players, are playing in the Classic at the moment. So I guess these tournaments are quite close together. So
no, but I think there's a sort of next tier of English players who you might have expected to be in the top 10. I don't know how strong the top 10 in Hastings is now, but traditionally, plenty of next tier of English grandmasters after what are now Adams, Vichugov, and Luke, and so on would normally be there, I would think. But so I don't know. I guess that a decision is made at some point not to give such priority to the host nation or something, in which case they have to commit. Why is this?
It's actually one. She's resigned.
She's resigned.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just trying to remember exactly how easy it is to win this, because obviously if Black's king aims to come to d2, but if White's king goes to d1, just trying to remember why it's so trivial. But I guess then you can send it around the other way to g3 and f2. But yeah, no, it is winning, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure you'd resign in Blitz unless you're also behind on time.
Yeah.
Which I guess she is. Okay. Have all the others finished?
Right. Everything's finished. Yeah.
Everything's finished. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to just see. Right.
Well, I have the rankings.
Okay. So we have a clear winner in this tournament, Eldar Gasanov.
And actually a point clear by the end, which...
Point clear. So big congratulations to him. And in course second... Andrew Horton and Amit Ghazi. And then fourth, Tom O'Gorman. And
Tom O'Gorman was very impressive. That was a nice...
Yes.
It's nice to see that Jonathan Spielman has pulled himself up a little bit, because he had a slow...
Right.
Even last year he was, really...
Last year he won.
Tremendous.
Okay. And so that's that. So congratulations to all those players in the open, and I'm just going to put the women on. And here we have a new English champion, a new UK champion, sorry, UK Open Blitz Women's Final. So UK champion Ellis Dyson, congratulations. Oh, hang on, wait. Am I getting this all wrong? Look, Badana's on 11 as well.
Yes, but I assume tiebreak 1 is that Ellis beat Badana as well.
Tiebreak 1 is that Ellis...
You haven't done anything wrong, Natasha.
Badana, I'm getting it right. Okay.
So you're getting it right, yeah.
Ellis beat Badana, so...
But, this is Badana after, what appeared a slower start this year, managing to come second in the tournament for the second year in a row. That's quite a gain.
Yeah,
Even
amazing.
at the
Age
ripe
7,
old
amazing.
age of 8, that's a pretty astonishing
No,
achievement.
it's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
But fantastic for Alice as well.
Well, it's very nice for English junior chess that those are the two,
wonderful.
you know, two
I'm
of the most prominent
very thrilled about it.
juniors who are taking first and second spot. That's
Marvelous. It is.
yeah, very impressive.
And that's ahead of women FIDE master Mai Shan Hong, who's actually Elmira Mazova and Kamila Hushenko all on 10.5. So very close there, just half a point behind the lead, those three. So well done to them. And the rest of the field. And yeah, great results for English juniors. And well played, all of them. And a little mention to Kanishka Bhatia, who had such a good start there, playing for Scotland, who also did very well. Okay, brilliant. So it was lovely. Thank you, Peter, for commentating. Lovely tournament again. I know it's a really nice tournament. I played in it last year. Congratulations to all the organisers as well. The organisers on the day today, and also all the organisers up and down the country, because they're very nice qualifying events for this tournament as well, getting a lot of players, a lot of games in a day. You can, how many games were there in the qualifiers, Peter?
There were 15 as well. I mean, I can only speak for my experience, but my experience of the qualifier in Bristol was very positive. I thought it was beautifully organised and really flowed very nicely.
Yeah, so it's a lovely event on the English chess circuit. Okay, great. Thanks everybody also in the chat. Thanks for all your comments, and thank you everyone very much for watching.
Thanks a lot. Bye everybody.